This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, sorry guys, I just forgot about the recorded. Okay, I'll explain again, no problem. User ID and password again. User ID and password. Again, some user ID and password he has to take in. With this user ID and password, he is going to be communicating with another application, second application, application 2, application 2. First application and second application. And third application also, he is going to be taking another user ID and another password. User ID and password. See, by writing this, I'm taking time. The same time to remember all these usernames and password. At the same time, he is going to be logging with a different kind of application one by one. He is going to be taking a lot of time, a lot of company time. That is not a right way. So that the company work time already reduced. Why? Because of he is taking a lot of time to log in each and every application to work with. He is going to be taking a lot of time, has to log in with the multiple applications at the same time. For example, the one person, person one, he is going to be having only 3 applications. Person one having only 3 applications. Okay, and person two, he has to log in with 10 applications in the company, different kind of portals. Person three, he has to log in with 25 applications, and person four, he has to log in with maybe 100 plus applications in a day. So he's a senior person. He has to log in with 100 plus applications in a company. So by sitting on computer, entering username and password for each and every application, it is taking a automatically. It will take a 2 to 3 hours maybe. So maybe more. Okay. So he not able to remember all these usernames and password every time, and he has to write a notepad or he has to write somewhere. Sometime some applications are password expires. If it is expired the password, he has to change with the password, and sometime he may forgot about the last password and new password, all these things. And one more thing, giving same username same password for all the 100 plus applications, that is not a good way by the security. Maybe hackers can able to attack. He's having the same username same password for multiple applications. They can able to easily attack your applications and they can able to stall. See, now this concept is basically without single sign-on, different username, different password for each and every application you have to give. So he is the user. He has to log in with the multiple application. What he is going to do? He is taking one user ID and password, logging with first application, and he is taking another user ID and password and logging with the second application. And he is working with another username and password, and he is going to be logging into the third application. Okay, n number of application, maybe n number of usernames and passwords and n number of applications he has to go with. This is not a right way in a company. In a company, single sign-on, what single sign-on can do, what PingFederate can do, let me tell you. So I'm taking a new paint here. So how single sign-on is going to be working with the same person, he is the person, same person, and he is going to be taking one username and one password. One username, one password. Okay, let me tell you. So he's a person, he is going to be given by one username and one password. With one username and one password, he will authenticate with multiple applications at the same time. One user ID, one password. One username, one password. Okay, he is going to be taking with one username and one password. And he has to log in with multiple kind of applications with the same username and same password. How this is going to be happen? This is miracle. With the same username and same password, how he can able to log in with the multiple kind of applications? This is miracle. Yes or no? For this one mediator should be required. So that mediator is our ping identity. That mediator is our ping identity. Seamless authentication. He can able to give seamless authentication with the ping identity. There is a concept called a ping identity. Ping identity. So we are identifying with the ping. For example, so he is going to be giving the username and password, and this username password we are giving with the ping identity. That ping identity is going to be sending or logging, giving authentication, giving access for the first application, giving access for the first application. Just try to understand. This is the application one. What ping identity can do? Ping identity giving access for the user first application, and the same ping identity giving access to the second application, third application, fourth application. And how this is going to be happening with? How this is going to be happening with? We are giving access all applications for the user using by the ping identity. Ping identity is the mediator where we are going to be giving the authentications, where we are going to be giving authentications for the multiple applications. This is the single sign-on. This concept is basically single sign-on. One second. Single sign-on. Yes, this is single sign-on called SSO. This SSO going to be generating with a ping identity. Ping identity is going to be giving access application 1, application 2, application 3, application 4. Each and every time, see, for example, when this ping identity is going to be giving access for the first application, and one secret token is going to be generated. One secret token is going to be generated in the first application, that is a XAML file. XAML. Okay. One XAML file is going to be generating with. Okay. One XAML file is going to be generating with this. And another XAML file is going to be, this XAML file is going to be transferring for the second application, checking with the same username password is there or not, and signature is available or not. Something like a certificate, signature certificate is going to be generating by the ping identity. That signature certificate is going to be transferring to the second application automatically. Second application also login with the same. This one is going to be transferred. This is going to be, this is XAML. This identity is going to be transferring to the second application automatically. Second application login, and the same signature transferring to the third application. Third application also getting logged. The same signature checking with the fourth application also getting login. And each and every time, each and every application checking with the ping identity, the XAML file was already generated. With that particular XAML file, all the applications are going to be logging with. See, what your work is giving access or stopping access or revoking the access, or deleting the access. All these things you have to do with the ping identity. Our work is simply with SSO, ping identity. See, I come to the simple point now. I just want to tell again, cyber security is security providing logging or authentication, authorization for the applications. Security means who is going to be allowing, who is not going to be allowing. So who is the reliable person, who is not reliable person. We have to tell the applications by the authentication or authorization. So we are the persons, we are going to be restricting the persons who is going to be accessing into the home and who is not going to be accessing into the home. For buildings, security persons are there. Same way in the web also, in the web world, internet, we are going to be connecting with multiple applications using by the security, using by the identity. So that identity is very, very important. Without having identity, you can't able to do anything. Without having a movie ticket, you can't enter into the movie theater. Or without having some uh, your Aadhaar card, PAN card, you can't able to do some transactions. That is something like your authentication, your authorization. That your authorization is your ID card, but authentication is your username and password. Remember, this concept is very simple. It's not a big deal with no programming skill. Just we need to try to understand the software and what are the things, how to give access, how to stop access, how to revoke access, and all these things we have to understand. Let me go to the point. What is cyber security and what is this identity access management? So we have to manage identity access. We have to manage identity access means uh, how to give this access, how to stop the access, and how to revoke the access, and how to delete the access. All these things, nothing but identity access management lifecycle. See, I will tell you how to give a, I will tell you the concept theoretically, identity access management lifecycle in the further class, and just try to understand what this IAM is, identity access management. IAM tools keep enterprise safe by ensuring only authorized users can access sensitive data and applications. See, finally, we have to communicate with applications to take the data or to watch the data, to do some operations on data. Data is important. To do with that particular data, we have to give some authorization. That authorization should be secured one. So IAM tools, this PingFederate, this CyberArk, this SailPoint, all these things, IAM tools keep enterprises safe by ensuring only authorized users can access sensitive data and applications. That's it. Very simple. It's not a big deal, big definition. And the features of IAM, multiple features. User provisioning. User provisioning. Provisioning is nothing but proof. So the proof need to be managed. These tools streamline onboarding process of user account creation and assignment of authorization. Yes. So for user, a new person joined into the company. A new person joined into the company. For that particular person, we need to give some username and password to log in with multiple kind of applications. So onboarding, when he onboarding into the company, we need to generate one username and password to give him. HR team is going to be generating one username and password giving to him. How many applications he has to access in the company, but he is going to be accessing all applications with single username, single password. He cannot able to remember all the usernames and password to log in with the multiple things. So that user provisioning we have to go with. Centralized access management. Yes, centralized access management. Centralized access management, nothing but all applications with single username, single password is going to be working with. That we have to work with IAM tool. And single sign-on, I told you single sign-on is a very important topic in the part of identity access management. Single sign-on is a series of the process that enables user authenticate time through centralized portal and full access resources. They are authorized without needing undergo additional authentication steps. No, no, without needing undergo additional authentication step. This point is very important. What this point is going to be telling to you, no need to take multiple authentications. One authentication enough to log in with the multiple kind of. It accomplishes this passing the singular granted authentication for system to system as needed basis. See, can you see this diagram? This diagram is very important diagram. This diagram is a very important diagram. You can be able to observe this. Without single sign-on, what it is going to be happening with, for web application 1, login 1, web application 2, login 2, web 3, login 3, web 4, login 4. I already explained this diagram in my paint, but you can see the material also. I will share the material for the registered persons. Please contact with your email IDs. Then only I will share this material for you. And with single sign-on, what is going to be happening with single sign-on is going to be available with only one sign-on for all the applications. That is actually a basic concept of without single sign-on with single sign-on. Here there are each and every application, separate username, separate login available. But here only one sign-on is going to be giving access all applications for the user. Now user did not waste the time. And this is very flexible, comfortable in the companies. Okay. Till now, any questions?
This conference will now be recorded.
Now you can check with the next one. This is identity access management. Next we will go with without single sign-on. What is going to be happening with the problems with this approach? Without single sign-on, what are the different kind of problems? I already discussed with you. So take time and reduces the speed. It is taking a lot of time to you. Logging with the first application will take 10 minutes. Second application will take 10 minutes. Third application take 10 minutes. Each and every application you are logging. Your 3 hours time, 4 hours time is going to be reduced in your office. Okay, difficult to remember the password username for all the applications. See, this one is very important. Difficult to remember all the passwords. I'm not able to remember my usernames, passwords for my Gmail IDs and all. Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, my LinkedIn, all these things. So I'm also facing the same issue. Difficult to remember the password username for all the applications. That is a problem. It makes you feel irritated. Yes, obviously. forgetting passwords, forgetting usernames, getting irritation. See, sometimes very important work is there. You have to book a ticket so that password is not remember, and you are going to be changing the password or re-entering the password and taking the new password, going with the new password and creating another password, and it is again sending to the email password I forgot again. See, a lot of irritation you get comes. Increases the help desk workload. Help desk workload increases. Help desk workload, nothing but who is giving support in the companies for you, that HR team, all these things. So those people getting irritating, or the workload will be included for that. And poor security habit. This is poor security. Why? Because of some people. Some people are going to be creating same username, same password for all the applications what he is using in the mobile or what he is using in the laptop. That is poor security, sir. That is not good habit. That is not good habit. So when you have same username, same password for multiple applications, sorry, hackers can able to easily attack your applications very easily. So please, that is a problem. And users with a single application, all users with single sign-on, all the applications at the same time. With single sign-on, what it is going to be happening with SSO authentication workflow. SSO. Now I came to the SSO. How this SSO is authenticating for multiple applications with the three concepts. One is the user agent. One is the identity provider, and one is the service provider. User agent, nothing but some your username and password. And here the concept is identity provider. So who is the identity provider? Your cyber, your ping is your identity provider. Ping identity is the identity provider. CyberArk also having a separate name, identity provider, or SailPoint also having some name, identity provider. So different kind of modules which are available with those persons, nothing but identity providers, mediators. Identity providers, nothing but mediators. This mediator is creating authentication, for the application by the service provider. Service provider is very important there. Service provider. Service provider is nothing but your application. There, some XAML file is getting generating, some OAuth file getting generating. That things are going to be working with the working flow. Just I will tell you this kind of definitions later. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now, what user agent is? User agent is typically user web browser from all where you are sending the request to the application. Your Gmail, your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, your LinkedIn, all these things are nothing but user agents. See, what is this identity provider? Identity provider plays an important role of producing identities that provide authentication within single sign-on federation. See, there are some rules and regulations by some OSs. OSs having some rules and regulations to go with some protocol, some algorithm. So based on that protocol, based on that algorithm, they are giving identity provider, providing identity. So this identity provider plays an important role producing the identities. Identities nothing but something like sign-on concept, something like username and password, something like authenticate or authorization. Authentication, authorization, which is going to be providing by the identity provider. Remember it. But this is with single sign-on federation. Okay. Now, what happening with the service provider? Service provider, nothing but your application. Service provider stands for service provider, an application that provide you some service. So Microsoft Teams is there, Salesforce is there, WebEx is there, Office 365 is there. All these things are your service providers. So you have to hit the service provider by the identity provider. Why? Because of identity provider is providing identity to log in with Microsoft Teams, to log in with the Salesforce, to log in with the WebEx with a single username and password. Okay, so use a trust relationship. Identity provider and service provider always need to be maintained trust relationship. Without maintaining the proper relationship between these two, you can't able to go with access. You could not able to access your service. For example, if you want to access the service of SAP, you can't able to access with the service SAP. You have to, sorry, without having some permissions, without having some relationship and all. So that is very important. And see, I told you, sorry, I written SAML X I written, but that is a SAML SML. Okay. So user agent created with IDP. What this IDP can do? IDP is going to be creating one XAML assertion. So XAML assertion, security assertion markup language. XAML nothing but security assertion markup language. So what this XAML assertion is, that is one single file. That is one single file which is having some key value pairs. Some key value pairs. That is one single file. That relationship is going to be generating with the XAML assertion. That XAML assertion is going to be sending to the some service provider, and relationship is going to be generating with that. Relationship is going to be generating. And some other application, whenever relationship generates, automatically session can start. See, important. Next step is very important. Session is automatically get started with, and user can able to access now this particular service. User can able to access now this particular Salesforce. User can able to access that particular Gmail, or user can able to access with some kind of HR Teams application. When XAML assertion got generating properly or relationship got generated properly, automatically session will start. Whenever sessions will start, that is happening with that application already logging with, and another application we have to log in with. Another application, what identity provider can do, identity provider sending again the XAML assertion to the second application. Second application also started with the session. Another session is getting started with. See, this kind of operation is going to be happening with the finally user got happy. Finally, user got happy with single username and password. He can able to log in with the two applications or a number of applications, not only the two applications, and number of applications with trust relationship. Number of sessions again we have to start immediately one by one with a single username and password. So here the concept, a very important concept, authentication with challenge. So when authentication is going to be generating by this SSO, and you can able to give the access, you can able to deny the access, or you can able to give the challenge, all these things with risk rating procedures. So user authentication is going to be working with the risk rating. Risk rating is going to be allowing access granting or step up authentication required. If authentication required, give authentication. If you want to stop the authentication, stop authentication, or pass authentication, pass authentication. That life cycle is there, later I will tell. And access granted, allow, access denied, different kind of steps. Okay, this is your theory part, just go with that. And the next concept, important concept, further classes it will come, multi-factor authentication, MFA. This is the use for more than one method to authenticate to user device. MFA provide a better assurance that authenticators are who they claim to be. So we'll get the more and more details about the MFA in the further classes. Don't worry about it. And user activity compliance control, identity governance, managed security. See, all these are features of identity access management. All these are features of identity access management. So we can't able to cover everything in the single day. So I will explain API completely in separate class. Each and every session, each and every concept separate class I will tell you. And risk analytics may be there. Why? Because of analytics are very important to analyze how the things are going to be happening and all with that particular. And who are the best providers in the market in cybersecurity? Who are the best providers to giving this identity access management for us? Okay, CyberArk is there. CyberArk is there. 4G-Rock is there. CyberArk, 4G-Rock, IBM MFA, and Microsoft Azure IAM, Okta, nice one. Okta is nice one. And OnLogin, and Oracle Identity Cloud Service, SailPoint, RSA, Ping Identity. Now I came to the concept called Ping Identity. Lot of jobs are there now in the Ping Identity concept. And Ping Identity available on premises and cloud. On premises nothing but, so you have to set up your software in your machine. That is called on premises. Cloud nothing but software also provided by the cloud one. So who is the cloud providers like AWS, Microsoft Azure, GCP, Google Cloud Platform? All these guys are providing some vast data, right? Unlimited data. When we entering into the cloud, we have the unlimited data. At the same time, a cloud is going to be providing software as service, platform as service, application as service, all these things. But now we need one software, pay as you go. Pay as you go. Nothing but how much you use, based on that you have to pay for the cloud. That is there, but without purchasing the software, you can go with the cloud. But on premises, two concepts are there. One is the PingFederate, one is the ping access. On premises nothing but within this environment, you have to go with the one software purchase. That software is on premises. Cloud nothing but based on the use, you have to pay for that. That is actually cloud. But cloud ping one ping ID, cloud ping one ping ID, but on premises PingFederate ping access. Enough. Let's come to the point. What ping identity can do. PingFederate is another pure play vendor. Ping well known IAM space. IAM nothing but identity access management, and Trailblazer in SSO and MFA. I completely discussing about SSO today, but I completely discuss about MFA in the tomorrow session. These two are very important topics, SSO and MFA. Next class, multi-factor authentication, how it is going to be working in the next class, I will discuss with you, and what we are going to be covered with. So our agenda is very simple agenda. Identity access management overview, the first topic, and capabilities of the PingFederate. See, this is not taking much time. It was mostly 25 days. I'm planning for 25 days. If you people are okay with me, I'll just go with the 25 days. I need to cover this particular topics: identity and access management overview, and capabilities of the PingFederate, and basic concepts of PingFederate, installation of PingFederate, working with the XAML, WS Trust, WS Security, OAuth 2.0, OpenID Connect, multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication, I told you MFA concept, right? So this MFA, briefly I will explain in the tomorrow session, but somewhere one complete hour I will go with the multi-factor authentication sometime. Single sign-on on PingFederate admin console, and certificate management, certificates, sign-in certificates. Okay, so encryption, decryption. So when some concept of encryption, decryption, public key, private key, how to working with the public key, how to working with the private key. So what is public key, what is private key? Lot of terminologies we have to learn with. So backup and restore, how to back up all your credentials, how to restore all the credentials, or sign-ins, administration APIs, monitoring, clustering. Enough. So see, this concept is nothing but completely agenda is very simple agenda, so that's not a big deal for us. Yes. Next question and time. So if you people have any question and answer, you can ask me. I will rectify. Please go with your questions now.